Alright, so, sorry about the delay there. I'll probably crop some of this out and make the individual matches highlights for the videos. So we're going to start off with Paladin versus Priest. Paladin, hand buff Paladin looks like it's starting with 2 of Grime Street Outfitter, which is really good. The 1-drop available, they're a little more sketchy than they are in the standard hand buff Paladin list, which are already kind of sketchy as having played it in the team list. So he is going to go ahead and coin out the Outfitter. You could do it either way. It appears that he actually has no 1-drops, so now this is more awkward because, you know, as of right now, there's no play for the next several turns. Would have been an argument for keeping the coin back, and probably the argument I would have made. I don't think I would have coined turn 1.
Welcome to the exhibit.
You know, you're still able to. It would have left you able to coin out on turn 4. One of these 5s you've got, and these doppelgangsters, like these 4-powered doppelgangsters, are really powerful. Okay, so the second-rate bruiser gets discounted, so that does work out, and that may have been something he was counting on. He cannot clear it. Malthrin cannot clear it this turn, and can't, like, I mean, he can clear it next turn, but that bomb squad is not incredible. I would expect him to just, I mean, probably just throw a heal on the Twilight Whelp and pass, and honestly, the heal there doesn't matter that much. Yeah, this is gonna be rough. That bookworm is probably never finding a target.
I wonder.
Okay, so he throws out Bran, which is just gonna die, and he has to. I mean, he knows it's just gonna die.
Well met.
Silverhand Regent was a pretty good draw, actually. It's gonna die here. It's gonna actually trade for the probably the 2-1 and the 1-2. I'd expect Mistress of Mixtures to just stay alive. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not completely sure. Okay, he keeps the 2-3 around. That said, like, this is gonna get... Yeah, so there's a Grime Street Enforcer. Now, I would kind of expect an Entomb here, especially now that he's drawn a second one. But there's gonna be a whole lot of really big minions coming, and there are not a whole lot of, like, really good board clears available. Smuggler's Run. Oh, well, yeah. Winning the joust there's nice. Not that I really think he was in any danger of getting burned out here. Yeah, so he's just burning through these Entombs, and it's hard to argue with that, but that Grime Street Protector is going to be a problem here in a minute. Another Smuggler's Run. So he's drawn all 4 of his, like, cheap buff cards. For these doppelgangsters. Yeah, like, I don't know what you do about this. Doppelgangster in this format, where there's no sweepers of any real substance, is kind of completely gross. We've seen it. We saw it earlier in the Hunter match. We're seeing it kind of here. Like, it's going to trade for so much. And they're actually going to get Divine Shield here for 2 of them. I think this is just it. Like, I don't... Well, that's just insulting. I mean, that's the game. I'm trying to imagine what you could even get. Enter the Colosseum, I guess, buys a turn if you were playing that in the Paladin list for some reason. But yeah, these hand buff cards look really good when there isn't, you know, things like sweepers or very good aggro. and Doppelgangster can be gross even in standard, so here it's just looked really impressive. Alright, so we got the Shaman Mirror next. So that's going to leave the other side of Paladin versus Priest as our last one. These guys actually have the exact same lineup. Well, the Shaman lists are actually pretty different. So the coin out of the Totem Golem is actually going to get pretty cleanly answered here by Stormcrack. The list we watched lose earlier is the only one of the Shaman lists I think that doesn't have Devolve. Let's see. So he's looking at next turn probably just running out the Faceless. It's hard to really argue with the Faceless. There's not a ton of answers for it in general, and certainly not in Shaman in this format. That is an aggressive use of Stormcrack. He might want that. He might really wish he had that one back later. So Malthrin goes with the and rolls high on the Fire Guard Destroyer because next turn he'll be able to just play out the Faceless. If you did it in the other order, you wouldn't be able to. I'm kind of assuming here. So he actually might do the trade into the into the Trog and then heal it back up. I would be unsurprised to see that line. I'm not too surprised to see him just get the 7/7 out either. Okay. So getting access to some of your real burn, I'm assuming that he'll take the... Unless he's really in on the faceplate, I'm assuming he'll take the bolt and bolt down the 7/2. Alternatively, you could take the burst to take out the Faceless, but... that's a really good totem roll. So Malthrin is going to want to probably... Well, the second devolve is interesting. So you could actually devolve and hope that the Maelstrom portal will clear. Clearing that's an argument that you're not going to be doing that. My guess here is that you see the Jade Spirits. So the Lotus Agent is a pretty wide inclusion. So I did lie. There is one piece of legal board clear for Shaman, Elemental Destruction. Apparently we're not going down that route just yet. He may be fishing for another way to clear out his... okay. Yeah, so the Elemental Destruction's pretty good here. It's definitely going to clear the Faceless. It'll leave the 3/6 behind, barring some luck. The big problem is he's got no way to clear the Overload, so it means the next turn is also dead. I guess he was rolling for the Wrath of Air Totem, but given that it wouldn't have, like, even with Wrath of Air, it probably wasn't going to be clearing. I guess it would have required, it was like a 1 in 8 chance. I think I would have liked having the totem after more. Yeah, so this turn's just dead. And the Trog would die for sure and wouldn't really trade for anything. Malthrin's looking pretty good here. There's a whole lot. It's an awkward set of 4s and 5s on the other side. probably just... My guess is he probably just holds up everything. He doesn't bring any more cards out in case there's the other elemental destruction. Free thing from below helps. So this turn he can do... so that Fan of Knives is not tremendous. Probably the Lava Burst. Okay, he's just going to straight up burst down the... So there's an argument here to go ahead and burn a Devolve. You've only got... Your spell power isn't enough to kill off things. Now the problem here is you got 2 overcosted minions on the other side. Okay, so it worked out somewhat. So you probably go ahead and run out the Maelstrom portal and make trades for the 2 powered ones. Maybe not though. Okay, he's just gonna trade. You could Primal Fusion the 2/3 to make it a... Okay, that's... I don't understand that ordering. Okay. That's not a bad little draw. A little bit of stickiness. Nice with the Primal Fusion. The Primal Fusion will be, you know, +5/+5 this turn. Or +4/+4, rather. So, I would expect to see the Primal Fusion go on the 2/3 and the 1/1 to trade into the 1/1. And then the, you know, the Primal Fusion to eat the 5/5. Yeah. So he's not overextending still. But this actually isn't that bad, like the... that's something. Yeah, the Jade Lightning there makes this pretty decent. Okay, that's actually a good draw. So you probably go ahead and run out the Trog and Stormcrack down the 5/3. That Devolve is actually going to be a really nice answer to that Earth Elemental. Okay.
Who knows what secrets will
So I guess that lets you use your hero power. More? No. No, I don't understand the line. Okay. I guess he wants to hold the Stormcrack. I would have liked getting out the... Oh, right. Bran doubles up the Jade Claws. I always forget that, even though I'm playing in this format. So I would expect the Earth Elemental to draw out the other Devolve, because there's nothing that's even close to an Earth Elemental at 4. Earth Elemental is already the best 5 to get out of, like, your portals. Okay, so this Maelstrom portal looks decent, but it can't clear... Oh, he's a mana short. So yeah, you're definitely... I would expect the Devolve to get run out here. The zeros are not... Yeah. Like, the things you get at this rank are not impressive looking. I like trading in, because you've got the heal totem. Yeah. Hi, Bran. And you're also going to have the ability to... So I just like clearing as much as you can here. You're also going to guarantee roll... No, you could get the 1/1. Okay. So you got 50-50 at rolling a Taunt Totem up. Okay, and you do get the Taunt Totem roll. The Healing Totem gets, like, true value there. I mean, Bran's gonna go down here. But this isn't super Okay, Brand's not going down here. I feel like you probably should have traded for the Brand. I'm not gonna lie. So he's got to trade away something in order for the full Aya value to come out. I don't think he'll have trouble doing that. In fact, I would probably just expect to see the full board clear here and then Aya. So that's probably 3-2 into 3-3, 4-1 into 4-4, 9-6 into 2-3, and then, yep. Okay, so he goes for punching in the face some, which is also fair. Like, I know there was one elemental destruction. I didn't check if there's another. I don't think there's, yeah. Alright, so that's 1-1. So Malthrin's won with Shaman and lost with his priest. He's going to be playing with Paladin against Priest. This is the matchup where on the other side... Oh, no, hang on.
My hammer burns with holy fire.
Alright, so yeah, he's got to play his third deck before he gets back and plays the Shaman again. So this is going to be Paladin versus Priest. That said, Malthrin's Paladin is not... It's not the hand buff one to that degree. It's a much more dragony list, which is probably worse. Actually, I don't think it's probably worse. I think it's just worse than the hand buff one against Dragon Priest. Like, you're playing dragons against a dragon deck. Okay. And you don't have, like, Operative. I don't know if you can discover Operative. I don't think you can, but I honestly wouldn't be the one to ask. Chromagus. Alright. Yeah, Operative. This is the problem here. Like, he's facing 3 Operatives. So there's some interest. Okay, he goes for Deathwing. I wasn't sure if he would go for Deathwing or Alexstrasza there. So if he next turn he coins out the Dragon Consort, he can play a Bookworm the turn after, and still get some bodies in the meantime.
Options.
Alternatively, he could he can Silver Moon Portal and clear the 1/3 and have a 3/4 of his own. And a 2 minion.
Hey, you want to buy a okay?
Okay, Huckster's not bad. Maybe he can get his own Dragonite Operative. He could trade for one of these, which is pretty good. Okay, I mean, I think you trade in the Huckster first. It's more likely you'll find something that way. Would you like to discover, or would you like to discover? He may do both.
Welcome to the N7.
Ooh, that's a whole lot of crap. Those are terrible by and large. He'll probably take the Infested Tauren, but there won't be a turn where he can play it anytime soon. He might take the Skeleton Knight. I can't imagine the world where he takes the Beast. We'll see if he Hero Powers or plays... Okay, he plays the Hero Power rather than Light in the Darkness. I mean, this is kind of cute and all, but I don't really see where this is... Here's the problem. So, those are all really good cards, and they're dragon cards. So Malthrin can now trade his board for the 3/5 if he'd like, or, okay, he can trade much of his board for the 5/6. Or he can play a 5/5 into a 5/6. That'll then let him play, like, Chromagus the next turn? Like, there's... Yeah, I mean, okay. And now he's going to play another operative, or play the... Yeah, like, this feels a little unreasonably unfair. That just feels dirty. Okay, so that, again, allows him to trade. He could also bookworm if he doesn't, you know, and then have some kind of answer.
Let reading drag love.
Bookworm. So Vect is asking about the game. Let me get back to viewing this. So these games are going pretty quick. We're probably going to be done by like 10:15. Partly because we're only doing 3 series in the end. So let's see what... Okay, so just operative number 3. That's just not right. So this Eadric is going to be gross as hell. Now I assume the board is actually mostly getting traded in here. It could also... Yeah, that's less good for Malthrin. So this Eadric's actually kind of gross. Although it's not the end of the world. Okay, that's pretty bad. The problem here, he actually really wants the Ragnaros, the Light Lord. Now he can bookworm the opposing bookworm and actually get a clear here, and lighten the darkness. Okay, so he just goes for board presence still. So this is a full clear. That's pretty good. Eadric's gonna be obnoxious, but the Dragonfire Potion's not great. Excavate Evil is better. Like, but it's like, okay, it's alright. So I actually, there's a few things you could play here. I kind of like playing Twilight Guardian and then Dragon Consort. Your buff carries, or the decrease in cost carries over between turns. And so it would discount something next turn. You could do it the other order and get a 1/1. He could also just throw out Nefarian and hope to get some big heals. Don't love that, mostly because of not caring for... Okay, so he goes sort of along the lines of what I was thinking, but goes for the board clear. Is he just dead? He goes to 1.
I wield the power.
Is he forced to play Deathwing? No, he's got multiple Tauners. I don't think he's going to play Deathwing. So he could just play out 2 Tauners. He'd love to find a Forbidden Healing. You could also lighten the darkness. Okay, leaves himself dead to Bookworm 2. Yeah, I mean, the Entomb's gonna do it. Oh no, there was just another Corruptor. So he was just screwed. Could have lightened the darkness to go for it there. So triple operative, triple corruptor. Malthrin's got to get wins against shaman with priest and paladin. Kind of a tall order. Or else we're going to be doing robes versus... I know it's not robes, it's Robespierre, but...
Versus Thrall.
There's no E between the B and the
My
S.
hammer burns with holy fire.
So we're going with the Paladin first. There's a reasonable chance that Malthrin's actually picked it because he thinks it's the worst matchup. And just wants to, like, that's not an uncommon thing with these Conquest ones. The team tournament's a little different just because it matters. Okay, Wicker Flame's pretty good there. The problem is there's a Devolve in hand, and so Wicker Flame's probably not going to get too much healing off. The good news for Malthrin is mostly... Okay, there's some... So that's actually pretty good. Basically, you know, it gets +3/+3 off your portals. It's early game presence. Is that the one that's 1 damage? No, that's friendly minion. It gets +1/+1. So I kind of expect to see something get coined. Yeah. So basically, if this survives the turn, which it's not going to, it's going to get Jade Lightning plus probably the Death Rattle in. I would have done the Death Rattle first just to guarantee it got, you know, the charge. And in fact, it doesn't. Okay. I don't know about that one. I might have... Well... I mean, the Keeper of Aldemon can't really nerf anything. I was thinking of the other one. Yeah, I mean, okay. That's not great. So, Malthrin's actually... Well, he's actually screwed, because the... Yeah, Eye is kind of a thing. But he can play a Bookworm to kill the 3/3. One of the 3/3 golems. And clear the other 3/3 golem, but then he's dead. And dead isn't good enough. I don't think there's a way to survive this. Yep. Alright, so it's going to be Robespierre versus Effectivus in the finals. And we can go ahead and get that started.